There's a interesting saying in Zen. If I translate, the whole body become an eye or something like that. I think I posted one video, but I've been kind of testing this. To what degree do I sense that, and also how may I experience it in daily life? And the funny thing, this I don't think I have told in any video yet, but I just say it for the sake of kind of fun experience. There's a exercise. This is such a funny thing for especially old men or old people. They stand up on one foot and close their eyes and see how long you can stand. And I may have posted this video a long time ago too. But I do it every now and then. And the reason for that is that I thought my balance sense is a little bit off or something like that. So as a part of the Tai Chi exercise, I stand up on one foot at a time. And when I do that every time, I start to do it by closing my eyes. Why I did that, again, I think that's just balancing sense that I don't want to lose, because I walk around, in the dangerous rock area and stuff like that. I'm climbing up the trees and stuff like that. I'm cautious, but it's not something that I don't want to lose. It's something I don't want to lose my good sense of balance. So I start to do that. And then, I know the young people, I had one experience at my cousin's place that when I do this, it could be 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 7 seconds. And I've been wondering about it because the young guy at the age, I think he's my niece, he is 27 or something. And when he does it, he stands on his one foot and can stay for a long, long time. So there's definitely a change depending on your age about the balancing sense, especially when you close your eyes and stand, how long you can stand. You can send me a comment, your experience in a different, age group. That'd be interesting to compare. But this is what I did, that when I stand one foot, usually my eyes are pointing in one state location. So that make it easy to stand. And that's what I thought could be the reason why when I close my eyes, that sensation is not there anymore. So what I did do to change is that, like today I did it, and yesterday I did it too. And I can do like a 17 seconds or 15 seconds or something like that when I have my eyes in certain direction, or the way of looking is different. Previously, I was thinking about my eye sensation, but when I close my eyes, just close it. But even after I closed my eyes, I had some image of what something is up there. And then have that as a reference, which is unusual because you have eyes closed, so you cannot see it. But when I do that, that's when I found that I can stand like 17 seconds or something like that. And this is the second or third day that I'm doing. And sometimes I wasn't doing well before that. But yesterday and today, I get the sense of it. And the reason for that is when I do that, there's different sensation. And that I relate to my exercise I did with Aikido. This is years ago. Maybe my friend, I should contact, maybe he can tell me something about it. Because there's a eye of certain position or way that is not typical way that we use the eyes. And then how did it go? I just don't remember specifically. Maybe I recollect that memory, or I'll ask my friend if I can still reach him. So the point is that when you have a different set of eyes watching the opponent or anything, in this case, standing on one foot and balancing, but also Aikido, I have some experience, and it's very meditative. That's right. So this is a samadhi state of eye that I can say could be the common feature when I can stand longer versus just standing, not thinking like a samadhi. So there's a relationship of taking a long time to explain this thing, but it's very important, and I think it's very important and interesting, is that when I'm in the samadhi state, the situation of the looking of the room, for example, is different. And if I say that, people may say you're kidding me or something, right? But that's actually is the point. There's a saying which basically says the whole body is eyes. And that's actually, there's one here because I was thinking about it. So it says whole body is eye is a Zen saying, and what it means is the body as a whole has as if like a window of cognition or feeling, and that's means that it's not just the five senses. There is an additional sense to feel the world with whole body. So that's what the meaning of this, the whole body is eyes. And this, I was trying to figure out where I remember that, but I couldn't. So that's why I checked on the internet. This is in Japanese and translated. So point more specifically it says is that in Zen, this is body and mind is one. That is very typical. So it's not just using the five senses, but the body as a whole is the experience of the world. Yeah, that makes sense because when I have this samadhi-like state and also nabanic state, is the sensation of the whole body experience. It's the blissful sensations throughout the whole body and transparent kind of a sensation. So that's what I think he's pointing to. So to have that faculty kind of activated, and I wasn't thinking in that way, I only feel this blissful sensation transparency throughout the whole body, and I can do it in 3 seconds or 2 seconds, just being to the state. And what I'm recognizing is that I wasn't paying much attention about my eyes sense, but I was more feeling about the body. But as I said, there's a certain minute but obvious situation in eyes to relate to the environment. maybe like the interest in, I call melting into nature, was I was taking some pictures today outside, and the feeling that you're like in nirvana. Actually, that's what one of the video I posted 2 days ago or something, when I went to the beach and I went into the zone kind of experience. But I'm more specific, zone is too generic and people talk about it. But people may not talk about the whole body experience and the transparency and the nirvanic sense or the blissful sensation and mind and body being one. That's very common in Zen saying, but I think in the Western world, they're still picking a few points and then discussing as if with the mind, like the word non-duality. Their discussion, and that's the discussion. It's not the experience as much. So I don't like the conceptual discussion of some issues that you can pick up and get into it. But without experience, it's almost like a nothing in terms of Zen approach, which basically says, don't use your word. There's teaching without using word. That's the saying, and very body related or intuition related, not the logic oriented. And I see the Indian went into two metaphysics kind of a argument and thinking, and that's when they kind of lost the Buddha's teaching and Zen and so forth, gone from India, but it stayed in China and went to Japan and kept that sense, experiential sense, and continued. And also Vipassana maybe, but doesn't talk much about this kind of a situation, which is okay by itself. But some of the Zen saying has lots of interesting expression, which I'm just picking up still. And like this whole body sensation and the transparency and all that, even that is difficult to find in English because they don't talk about it. Maybe they do. But Ryokan is, for example, one of the example talking about he's got the poem. Maybe I should find it, but I think I posted somewhere in the YouTube, except I cannot find it sometimes, even if I search for it. But that is the same sense that I discovered. I was wondering why I have this sensation, just wandering around and just in 2 seconds or 5 seconds, I get into it. But that's the state that is samadhic state. And all these things become more and more clear, even at this age, and still interesting to discover. So I'm talking a lot about this one small thing, but that's about the mind and body connection. It's something that I wish people start to recognize and realize, because that's the dimension I said, the mind dimension and body dimension are 2 dimensions. They are separate and they are paradoxical. One cannot reach out, but that is not true, that we can connect, and what mind is doing can be connected to the body. And the Vipassana's discussion about focusing on breathing and the whole body is exactly that connection that is being talked about. See? And as an extension of it, and all the literatures and the little pointy stuff, saying and so forth, that's when I see, this guy's understanding of this, I feel it. And then it's interesting to get to know about the words and the experience, and the words which didn't make sense become part of me. Like this whole body is I. I'm still only in this discovery process, but I feel like if I can stand for 17, 20, I didn't get to the 20 seconds, but coming close to it, It's almost like a huge change from when I couldn't, with my eyes closed and standing more than 5 seconds. I could do 7 seconds or something, but not like 17 seconds. So maybe you think I'm crazy and stupid. Anyway, let's finish this one. So the meaning of the whole body is I is that whole body is recognizing the world and it's functioning in that way. So that connects to the Zen Kiken that I was talking about, the full utilization of talent. That makes sense. And that's why everything is fitting together. So let me finish reading this. The application of this is that by meditation or Zazen, sitting, then we pay attention to the sensation in body, and beyond the 5 senses we typically use, we can get the deeper recognition of what's going on, and therefore the whole body is I kind of experience can be had. One thing I can tell you is that this is expression I knew, but you don't find this expression many places, only just a few certain places. That's why it was difficult to find it. But I'm glad that I found it. So anyway, in Soto Zen tradition, the word the whole body is I means it's as if the whole body is with light. And that's the state of Satori. It could be understood like that, is what it says. Anyway, I'll say this is not related, but one more pointer. The basics of Zen is that bring the minus to plus, have a way of finding to be positive, and whatever the hardship that you may have, instead of being afraid of it or avoiding it, just accept from straightforward front way instead of hiding or escaping, and that's very important. So that statement is applicable in my case of me on the 8th day of Vipassana, which I'll be talking about in the next day or two in my follow-up of this in the video that I'm going through. I may have gone to the 5th day, and then I can catch up to the 8th day very soon. But in that area is about I was trying to escape from the pain. And he's saying that don't be fearful, don't avoid it, but accept it straightforward. And that's the key. And that's such a simple statement. In your mind, you can understand it, but that doesn't mean you can experience it and be able to do that when you're in a painful situation. So that's the kind of a jump. No word can explain it. And no matter how much videos and reading you could do, you cannot get to there unless you really experience it. And that's the basic point. I thought I had one more thing to say. But I guess that's enough about my experimentation and the realization. And it may be boring for those who are just listening, but that's the point. I wish we have a way to go beyond using the word to communicate and actual having an experience of it. So it's like a how to swim. You cannot just talk about how to swim with the chalk and the board and the video, how to do this and that. It's the same story. That maybe that's the reason why I post so many YouTube videos. Because if I'm here and you are there, we cannot communicate easily. So only way I know is that at least we have internet. I share it, and pounding the same thing from different angle. And this interesting observation, this is the interesting experience, and that is to see and feel rather than listen and understand and store a certain mind, space. And I'm doing a kind of like an impossible task of sharing idea for you to try. And it's not easy. I mean, if it's easy, people are doing it. So I shouldn't say I don't care, but actually I don't care. If I look like a guy who is stupid to talk about this and that and all the time, and the main reason of that, even this expression, I'm still learning or discovering about myself. And that is very stimulating to get to know the world we live in, not living in the mind. So I don't like to sit and do this computer and some of the AI stuff, but it's also interesting to be able to understand what can be done with the internet and so forth. But still, there's another world that we should be able to communicate, not just staying in the mind and the intellectual exercise. And action, experimentation, inquisitiveness, tied to the needs that you may feel to break through some of the issues that you may have. That is what I believe we can do something about. So this is a little bit long one that I did, but just taking this opportunity, I thought I want to share something of this nature. Even experimentally, I'm playing with this mind and eye and body thing, but I think I'm getting there. Maybe I got there, but I'm still not confident enough that I really got it. Because we just get off easily. So that's why I have to keep on checking and make sure that, if it's important, let's work on it. Sincerely and truthfully. Thank you for listening. Good night.